Okay, welcome to the live stream. Um, Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm gonna do a tech check and just make sure everything's good to go. And hopefully you can hear me okay. This is also the first time I'm using my real camera as a webcam and as a live stream camera. So hopefully that's okay. It is a little bit more high definition than the webcam that I was using. So look more real, I think, hopefully. Um, so let me just double check this. Tonight we are doing a Q&A session. I have some questions that I wanted to bring up that I have from the webinar last week. So different questions that people were asking that I figured we could go over together. And then I also had some questions about the DPT to CEO business coaching program. So I figured we could go over those together too. But if you are watching with me live, if you could give me a thumbs up that you can see me and hear me okay, that would be super helpful. And if you're catching this on the replay, comment replay down below, along with any other questions you might have. So getting into it, last Tuesday, I did the first webinar that I have done in a while, Ditch the Grind, which was a webinar about basically like the process to go from working as a staff clinician to working for yourself full time using the vehicle of building your own practice. And the three major steps to get there, starting with how to actually like put together a business entity and launch that, how to find your own clients, and then how to create consistency so that it can give you the clinical time and financial freedom that you are looking for. Tom says thumbs up. You can hear me. Cool. Thank you so much, Tom. And that was the crux of the webinar that I did last week. If you missed it, or if you're catching this in the future and you want to get in on that training, like I said, we talked about basically how to go from the clinic to working for yourself full time and the three major steps to get there. You can find the replay of the training, and in the future, the plan is to also edit it down so it's a little bit more condensed. You can find the replay right now or the edited version in the future at morganmeese.com/ditchthegrind. You can also find it in the nav bar. I'll put the link in the comments here. Hopefully that'll send. You can also find it in the nav bar on my website at morganmeese.com under Start Here. You'll see, I think, 2 items down, it'll say Ditch the Grind free training. And so if you go there and sign up for the training, then you'll get access to the replay and the free workbook that I made to go along with it. And then announcement number 2 that I wanted to get to before the Q&A, something that I'm really excited about, and you guys will get emails about this this week as well. But we are currently accepting applications for the DPT to CEO program. We have room right now for about 5 to 6 new students to join us before the end of the year. So if you are somebody who is really looking to start or kind of like, I guess, what's a good word? Kickstart, kind of the same word. Like if you are somebody who is starting from scratch to try to start your own practice and start your own business, or if you've already gotten started, like I know there are quite a few of you, watching or who joined the webinar who have taken the mini course Therapy Business Basics already. So you might already have your business entity, but you're just wondering how to go about getting your clients. Either place is a perfect spot to start in the DPT to CEO program. So if you are wanting to have a partial to full caseload of your own private clients at the beginning of next year, now is a perfect time to get started in the program, and you would be a good fit for who we're looking for the about handful of spots that we have for all one-on-one coaching. It is limited because it is all one-on-one coaching with myself and our marketing coach Taylor. every week. So we only have a few spots for that. But big like bonuses with this, or like new things, is that if you apply for the program by November 10th, you will get a free complimentary marketing audit with our marketing coach Taylor, where she will go over with you kind of like where you're at with your business and where you want to go, and help give you some real like actionable steps and advice to move you forward with marketing stuff. So all you have to do is apply by November 10th. And I did have a question, if I apply by the 10th, but I won't be able to schedule a call with you until after the fact. Does it still count? And yes, it still does count. We just want to see the application come through before November 10th, so that Taylor and I have the time to review it and make sure that we're a good fit. You'll then schedule a call with me where we'll go over where you're at with everything right now and figure out if the program's a good fit. Either way, you'll walk away from that call with me with at least 3 action steps to take to move yourself forward with your business. So that's the major thing. So apply before November 10th for DPT to CEO. And I will put the link for that in the comments as well. But you should be able to find it on my website, morganmeese.com/DPT-2-CEO to apply. The other new thing that I am putting out there, I'm going to share it on social media and also send out an email about it, I believe tomorrow, is we are offering a never before seen major discount on the program right now. So we'll go over pricing a little bit later on when I talk a little bit more about the program, but we are offering 46% off the full price of the coaching program, which is something that I've never done before. But I know that there are lots of therapists and clinicians out there right now who want to start their own practice by the beginning of the year. And I know that pricing has been a little bit of a barrier for some people right now, and they're watching their budget. So I wanted to figure out a way that we could make this work where, like it maybe would be a little bit more digestible price-wise, to make the investment in the program. And along with offering 46% off of the price, we are condensing the 6 months down into 4 months of one-on-one coaching, which does make the program a little bit more intense, but it also tends to light a fire under people as well and help them get the results that they're looking for as quickly as they can. So I hope that makes sense. If you do have questions, please leave a comment below, or you can shoot me an email, hello@morganmeese.com if you have questions on it. But otherwise, if you want to do this, if you want to work for yourself full time and run your own practice, see your own private clients, this could be the program for you. And all you need to do is apply for the program, set up a call with me, and we'll get you started. And we'll go over the process a little bit more later on. So that's like pretty major announcement on the program that I wanted to share. And we, like I said, we only have space for about 5 to 6 people right now, 5 to 6 students in the program. So the discount is only for the first 5 to 6 people who are onboarded into the program. And last thing, before we get into questions, I mentioned in the webinar, I'm working on growing my YouTube channel. So I'm trying to put as much content as I can out there to help you guys with starting and growing your own practice and your own business as a clinician, and learning how to work for yourself full time. So, if you are wanting to learn more about that, and how to work with your own private clients, ditch the 9-to-5 like I did about 3.5 years ago now. Make sure to hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel. It should be right below this video, or if you're watching in the Facebook group, you should be able to find my channel if you go to YouTube and just search my name, Morgan Meese, and you'll be able to subscribe. So cool. Any questions on that, leave them in the comments down below. And next I'll get into some questions from the webinar, and also get a drink of water really quick. Okay, so first question that I have, and I will pop them up on the screen just so you can see them better. Um, One question that I have gotten in the past for people who are thinking about doing this program, or just thinking about doing their own practice in general, whether they do business coaching with me or not, is can I still start my practice if I have a non-compete? And signing a non-compete, definitely something else to talk about at another time. But let's say that you did sign a non-compete. Um, and one person did ask me, will I know if I've signed a non-compete? And the answer is yes, you should you should know in your paperwork that you signed when you accepted a position with you're working right now. At least out of all the paperwork that I've signed at different clinics and home health agencies I've worked with, it was like a clear clause. So I made sure to ask about that when I got into home health because I didn't know about it really when I was in a clinic, but I don't think I had one at the clinic. It should say somewhere, I remember there being like a paragraph about like non-compete. Um, so you should know if you've signed one, but let's say that you have. The first thing that you need to do is get really clear on what that non-compete means. And as scary as it might be, the best place probably to go is to your clinic manager or your supervisor and ask about it and ask for clarification on what it means. I know when I talked to my home health supervisor and asked about it, they, like I told them I had my own private practice as well, or I was planning to do it, or take private clients. And they told me, like, that's no problem. Like we're not competing practices because, like one, you're private pay, you don't accept insurance. Two, you're on the other side of town than where we usually see patients. And three, it's a totally different patient population. So, like don't worry about it at all. Um, so hopefully, fingers crossed, that's how your supervisor handles it. But go to them, get some clarification on it, and figure out where you stand with things. For the most part, like it's my opinion for those reasons that I just listed that most of you guys here who are watching and who are in the group and subscribe to the channel, you're wanting to start your own practice in a similar fashion that I did. Um, you're not going to be in competition with wherever you're working right now. And so hopefully your supervisor, your director thinks the same thing. But I have worked with therapists in the past where they went to talk to their supervisor about this. And let's just say like their employer was less than enthused that they were kind of like sniffing around to figure out like what the non-compete was, and ultimately was not happy with the fact that the therapist wanted to start their own business and basically made them choose. um and there's a lot of detail that goes into that, but that very much could be a reality that you face. So what I think is probably best is if you are going to have a conversation with your supervisor about the non-compete, be prepared for them to ask like why you're asking. And if you decide to, tell them that you're thinking about starting your own business, be prepared for them to like not be super cool with it. Um, it could be something that happens. And so it really varies like depending on where you're working. One thing that you could do is if like for sure that you are going to leave at some point and go into working for yourself full time, there is a lot of stuff that you can do like on the back end of your business. That will usually take like a couple of months or so so that you can get set up so that by the time you do need to have a conversation with, you're kind of already set up and ready to turn in your notice to leave your current position. Um, So that's a few things on that. I know it's super sticky, and it really varies depending on where you are. Um, but you can definitely start setting up your practice, even if you have a non-compete, because until you start seeing clients, it doesn't really matter, in my opinion. Again, not a lawyer, or your supervisor. So, whoops, just something to consider. And let me know if you have more questions about that, and we can talk about that as we go. All right, next question. I know that this was a little bit of a concern when I was talking about these Q&As at the webinar. So I wanted to address this again, because it's something that I think a lot of people might worry about. So the question essentially was like, what if providers don't refer to me because they already refer to a certain clinic or another therapist or another clinician? So like, what if they don't refer to me? Why would they refer to me? I've also been asked that, and I want to squash this question, because I know, like, I'm speaking to this from the point of view of being a healthcare provider myself. I know in my healthcare heart, if I have, like, let's just say like another PT that I typically refer people to, and then I meet another PT that has a different specialty, a different personality, a different service type, prices, or availability. Um, if I think that that second therapist will be a better fit for the patient in front of me, I'm going to refer that patient to the other therapist. Even if I already had a therapist that I referred to, that first therapist is going to have totally different stats than the second one. Starting off just like at the totally basic point, they have a totally different personality. And not every patient is going to mesh with that personality. So having another therapist to refer to actually helps to enhance my own patient care, and makes it so that like my patients have a better experience. And I give that example because, like, if I am the business owner who is wanting to reach out to physicians or other providers, but I know that that provider already has like a PT that they refer to, I've talked to people, and you probably know who you are, who think, well, that physician already refers to a physical therapist, so why would they refer to me? And we need to completely get rid of that thought process, because it's not going to help you, and it's not going to help patients. So you need to go into it with the thought process of, like, that provider, that physician, whoever it is, I know them, I like them, I want to get to know more about their business, or like, I don't know them, but I want to make the connection, and they work with people in my target audience. So, it would be beneficial for everybody for us to make that connection. Um, Go into it with a completely open mind, and you are going to make a connection with that provider. And if they want to refer to you, they will. And like I said, just giving the example of a healthcare provider myself, and like you, you're going to do what's best for the patient. So, I wouldn't worry about it too much. I hope that makes sense. And you have to kind of go into it with an abundance mindset. Um, this question I wanted to talk about because I got an email about it, and my good friend who emailed me, I am going to email you back, but I figured I would talk about it here tonight as well. And I'm probably going to put some more information together about this. But his question was essentially about, like, do I need an NPI number? And the question, or the answer, is yes. Most of us here are already working. So if you're a student, you don't have an NPI number probably already. But if you have been working already in a clinic, hospital, home health, whatever it is, you should have an NPI, an individual NPI number. I have talked to some therapists who don't actually, like the company they worked with, they were billing under their own NPI and not the individual's NPI, which details on that. But you should have an individual NPI number, which you can find at the NPI registry website. You should be able to look up your name to find out what your NPI number is. And it's an individual NPI number that is most likely essentially like registered and enrolled with insurances. The reason that we need a second NPI number if you are starting your own cash-based practice is because you need an NPI number that is not associated with insurances. That's a long story short. And so as a practice, when I first got started, it was recommended to get a type 2 organizational NPI number for your practice. And as a cash-based provider, and by that I mean somebody who is practicing and charging the patient directly, cash, whether it's credit, debit, HSA, Zelle, whatever, and there's no involvement with insurance and you're not providing a super bill, you don't really need it, but it's better to have it in the case of a patient asking for a super bill so that they can submit for out-of-network reimbursement. That's what it is for. And you are not supposed to put the individual NPI number that is associated with insurance on your practice's super bill because essentially like you're operating, like in your clinic under an NPI number and then in your practice under a different NPI number. And like I said, I'm going to do some more research and put together some information and hopefully put up a blog post soon with like some more resources and citations so you guys have some links to check out with more information on that. But that is the answer to that is yes, you do need one. This question I liked. And this was kind of from when I did a day in the life video on my YouTube channel. Basically, like, what does a typical week in cash-based practice look like? And I think it's something that, only like a couple of people have really like asked about. But it's interesting. It's just kind of interesting to me because when you are working a 9 to 5, your days and weeks basically always look the same. And it's very like it's the same thing every day. But when you are in practice for yourself and you're working for yourself, you're completely in charge of your own schedule. So your day can look like whatever you want it to. And I wanted to share just briefly like what a typical week looks like for me. And when I was busiest, like with clients, when I first got started with physical therapy patients, what it would look like versus I guess now. When I was the busiest, so when I was only working for myself, seeing private physical therapy clients before all this stuff happened with the business coaching and marketing stuff that I do now. I would see usually between like 10 to 15 patients a week. And I was primarily working out of the gym that I was at. So I would try to put appointments next to each other, or around the classes that I was going to take so that it was, most convenient for me to be there and I wouldn't have to like drive everywhere or drive back and forth all of the time. And that's similar to what I do now as well with patients. And so I'd see anywhere between like 10 to 15 appointments per week. The not good thing to do, I think, in my opinion, is to schedule those appointments whenever, wherever, whatever you want. Because when you're first getting started, if you are not working another job, every day is free, and it's really easy to just ask patients, when do you want to be seen? And then your schedule gets very chaotic very quickly. So usually I recommend for people that you pick 3 to 4 days a week where you are treating or seeing private clients, and a certain time window, not just anytime. Because like what would happen is I would have days and I'm like, oh, Morgan, why did you do this? Where I would have like a 6 a.m. patient and like a 6 or 7 p.m. patient, and I'm like, why? Why? Because I want to have like a shorter window where I'm like on and then I can like turn off or check out for the day and not have to be, available the entire day. It was too many. Too many hours to be like on, I guess, for the workday. So 3 to 4 days a week where you are treating, or like some people who have a hybrid delivery model where they are mobile and in a clinic. 2 days where you're mobile, 2 days where you're in the clinic. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And the reason why it's not 5 days is because you need one of those 5 days as a completely non-patient facing day to get admin stuff done, whether it's emails, messages, documentation, billing, and you need to do your marketing stuff, making content, putting up ads, sending emails, updating your website, and sales stuff where you're following up with previous patients, you're reaching out to potential patients, you're reaching out to potential networking connections. And if you try to do that scattered throughout appointments, it has never worked for me. It has always just like stressed me out so much, versus if I set aside an entire day where I can just really like not talk to any like clients and just get really focused for that day, I am much more productive. So now usually like my week looks like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm seeing clients. Tuesdays is like the basically like admin day, admin and marketing day. And then Friday, because I'm doing a ton of Con Ed for some reason, is like a bunch of studying. So like that's been really nice to be able to just like set aside that time to get all the studying done rather than trying to like, weave it in throughout the week. And then Saturdays are off. Fridays are kind of off except for the studying. And then Sundays are kind of like a reset day. So almost like a personal admin day in a way. And I'll get like a little bit of work stuff done as well. But it's good. It's a good schedule. And it's really nice that, I can decide when I want to be working and when I want to go on trips or go on vacations. I know one of my clients I was talking to today said that she realized that her free time and like the flexibility of being able to take time off is really important to her. And even though she has the PTO available, she doesn't really get a say about like when during the year she can do that. So it's difficult for her to see her family like during the holidays because she can only be off like Thanksgiving or Christmas and not both. And I am definitely super fortunate to be able to take time off for both of those. And like throughout the year, I can take time off to go to other family functions, which has just been really nice, and not having to, like submit a PTO request and hope that it gets approved. Although I do make really lame jokes when I'm planning things, and then like I'll just tell my husband or my assistant like, oh, gotta put in a PTO request to myself. It's so silly. But anyway, so that's just kind of some basic stuff there. And then one, I guess, like quick question, and this is something that of course, like everything, there's more details that go into it. But if you are trying to work in a like out of a gym or studio, another business's space, how much should you pay in rent? 100% it should be a flat monthly, hourly, weekly, daily fee. It's a flat rental fee, no percentages. And when I was trying to figure it out for myself, I like Googled comps in the area. So like if I were to try to rent office space in the area or medical space, I would try to calculate for about like 100 square feet of space, how much I would need, like, for a little office, kind of like the size of this room behind me. Because that's all like I really need to get a lot of stuff done. But if you feel like you need more space, you can definitely do that. But that was basically what I did. So then at least like going into the meeting with like the business owner to talk about a rental agreement, you have something to go off of, and you'll know for sure. Say it might cost you in the area like $450 to rent 100 square feet of like medical office space. And then you go into a meeting with a like dance studio owner to talk about renting space, and they say it's going to be $1,500 a month for rent for no private space, and you can only use the space during business hours. Then you say thanks but no thanks. I'm going to find something else. Let me know if you want me to go into detail in another video about this, because I think that that's something that comes up for a lot of people, is figuring out how much to pay in rent. And then the last question from the webinar stuff with starting a practice and everything. This was just a question I got recently, was what do I bring for a mobile visit? So let's say you are getting started in your practice and you decide that your like method of delivery for service is going to be mobile, meaning you are meeting patients in their homes, at their office, at local parks, if that's available to you. But basically, like you're meeting them somewhere and it's not a clinic. What should I bring for a mobile visit? And this could probably be its own video too. But I would say definitely bringing a table. You should be able to get a plinth, like a portable table, fold-up table off Amazon for like 80 to 150 bucks. I think mine was like 85 when I got it. And it folds up, it has a bag. It's not super heavy, but definitely a table, just to have like somewhere to conduct your session. And you might also be able to find like a small fold up stool to sit on. So not like a wheelie stool, static, but basically like a folding chair. And it might even fit like in the bag with the plinth so that you have somewhere to sit as well. Let's see. For mobile visits, so we have the table, maybe a chair, if you want somewhere to sit. And I have this tablet that has a keyboard. Oh, you guys can see the reflection on my monitor. It's a Samsung tablet and I can write on it as well. I bring that to do like point of service-ish documentation. So I'll take notes when I'm with my clients. And the tablet's nice because the battery lasts for a while and it's really portable versus a laptop, too clunky to me. And on the tablet, it's really nice. I can write on it because I can pull up images and draw stuff for patients, and they seem to really like it. And then I also do a lot of like video recording of their movements and we go over it together. So I really like bringing the tablet. Of course, you can do some of that with your phone, but it's nice to just have like the bigger screen to see everything on. And then as far as equipment goes, sometimes people ask me about like, I work with a lot of equipment. What do I need? And what I would say is, I guess like twofold. First, like if you're just getting started, you got no equipment. Think about maybe like your top 5 pieces of equipment that you would want to use, whether it's like TheraBand, dumbbells, etc. Top 5 things and start to accumulate them over time. Like when my husband and I put together our garage gym, we didn't buy all of the equipment all at once. It was usually like a couple of things, like every couple of months, until eventually, like we had like quite a good setup so that I could actually like treat patients here. Um, and it was like an overtime thing. And think about like the typical patients that you'll see, what kind of equipment they might need. And you could also wait until you actually get one patient, and you could go and do an evaluation and figure out what you want your treatment plan to be, and get a couple of pieces of equipment for that. So you don't have to like try to buy everything all at once. Buy it as it is necessary. And then when it comes to like what to bring with you to mobile appointments, you'll think about like just like the night before, probably. Here's the patients I'm seeing tomorrow. What equipment do they need for their appointments? Put that stuff in there and keep everything extra, like in your garage or in your house or in your apartment. So you don't need to like lug every equipment in your car everywhere all the time. So that's just like a couple of strategies with that. And then Tom said, I definitely be interested in hearing some more about subleasing a space, starting home health and mobile right now after working in the setting for years, but want to transition to a physical location at some point. Cool. Yeah. I'm totally down to look into some more stuff to share with you, and share with everybody else watching here. I've had the experience of renting space out of a gym, and I've also had the experience of having just like a different arrangement where I don't pay rent out of a gym, which is great. But then like just through the work that I've done with other therapy practices across the country, I can share a few other things that people have done and how to know like if it's going to be a good situation or not. And you can kind of like figure out, what to say yes to. But yeah, I'm totally happy to share more on that. So thank you, Tom, for the comment. Okay. And then last couple of things, for tonight, and thanks for hanging out, you guys. I know that this is another long stream. Hopefully this stuff has been helpful. And like I said, if other questions pop up, please leave them in the comments, because as I'm making content for YouTube and for the group, a lot of it is based on what you need help with. So I'm happy to answer those questions, and it'll make the content all that much better if it is exactly relevant to what you need right now. So those are a bunch of the webinar questions. And then last section, I just wanted to talk about the DPT to CEO coaching program and a few questions I've gotten on that. So first question basically is, how does the program work? And I'll put that up on the banner as well, so we can see. So how does the DPT to CEO program work? I know if you're here, if you were on the webinar last week, if you are just kind of like looking into how to start your own practice as a clinician, there are tons of different business coaching programs out there. And like lots of them are really good, maybe some not the right fit for you. But I highly recommend working with a coach or going through a program of somebody who has done what it is that you want to do. So for me, for those of you who might not know my story and kind of where I'm at, I started working at a big box clinic, transitioned to home health, trying to look for like the grass has to be greener somewhere. And eventually came to settle on the fact that I needed to work for myself. And for the past 4 years, I've been working for myself full time, treating my own private clients. When I was only doing that, like I said, I would usually see 10 to 15 clients a week. And I've transitioned that to also doing business coaching and digital marketing, which I found out that I love. I never thought that I would be interested in marketing, but I'm actually huge nerd about it, but I work for myself full time, and like my weeks are designed so that I can be at the gym as much as possible as I try to get good at CrossFit, and working with clients and running the business, and being able to take time off when I want, go see my family, and do all of that kind of stuff. So I right now very much have a business that it's, I make more in revenue than I ever would have in a PT clinic, for one. So I make enough to support myself, help support my household and everything, keep myself busy, and do all the things that I want to do the stuff that I love. So it's kind of like it's myself, and then I work with two assistants. Very small business, but it makes me happy, and if that's what you want, then I am the person to help you. If you are somebody who is wanting to grow a practice and like scale it to have like a huge, big team of therapists, I would be able to help you get started. But there are definitely other programs that work with you to get to that level. Or, seeing like just a lot more clients than 15 a week, or hiring therapists, things like that. So I can get you to where I am. But anyway, so that's what I recommend, is find somebody who does what it is that you want in your life and follow them, work with them, because the mentorship is going to help you get where you want to go much faster. And I don't know about you, but like, if I could reach my goals in say 3 to 4 months versus 3 to 4 years, 100%, would rather do it in 3 to 4 months. And my program, DPT to CEO business coaching program, is for clinicians who want to learn how to go from being staff clinician right now to working full-time for themselves. It is all, at least at this point, the point of this recording, it's all one-on-one coaching. So with myself or Taylor, our marketing coach, throughout the whole program. It's weekly coaching calls, except for the holiday weeks coming up. We'll be off then, but otherwise it's weekly coaching calls, where you and I meet on video just like this, and we work through the specific 6-phase roadmap that I have for the program. We work through the curriculum together, and I help guide you on your individualized path to get where you want to go. So it's pretty simple. One-on-one coaching, we meet, we have a specific curriculum, which you have lifetime access to if you end up enrolling into the program. So any updates I do in the future, welcome to have them. And then how much does the program cost? So I've had a lot of discussions over the past few weeks with clinicians who are interested in the program. And it seems like right now, like budget is kind of tight. So I wanted to do something. I wanted to figure out a way to kind of like meet in the middle, because I know that there are a lot of therapists who really want to start their own practice and their own business, but just like truthfully cannot make the investment right now. So what we are doing, we're offering a special discount for the first 5 to 6 people to apply and enroll in the program. If you apply by November 10th, not only are you going to get the complimentary free marketing audit with Taylor, but we are doing a big discount, 46% discount on the full price of the program. And so that brings us down to, I wrote everything out. And if you have any questions, let me know. But with the special pricing for this program, which is only going to be available for a limited time, for the first 5 to 6 people to apply and enroll in the program, there are 3 options for 46% off. Paid in full is $3,500 for the program. 2 payments of $1,950, or 4 payments of $1,125. And like I said, it's steep discount from what the full price of the program typically is right now. And I know this video will be up for a little while. We'll be running this discount for at least a couple of weeks for anybody who is interested. And all you have to do is go to the website, morganmeese.com/DPT-2, TO-CEO. Apply for the program and book a call with me. And if you do so, if it's a good fit, then you'll qualify for our special pricing. And the other thing that comes along with this right now, as we're doing this special pricing offer, is we are taking the 6 months of the typical timeline and condensing it down into 4. And that's a little bit of extra pressure as you're following a 4-month timeline instead of 6 is going to help you get the results that you want a lot faster, obviously, with a shorter timeline. But it also really helps people focus in on getting the job done and taking action so that they get where they want to go. So it's something that Taylor and I are really excited about. We're really wanting to work with people right now, like I said, who are serious about starting their own business, because it's like the best thing I think that I've ever done for myself. And I know that's something that Taylor's really excited about. And we'd love to get started with you in the program this month, coming up in November, so that at the beginning of the year, you are up and running, and seeing at least a partial caseload. For those of you who are willing to put in the work and get things done every week. So that's the pricing for right now. Subject to change. Most likely it will go up again after our next 5 to 6 students enroll. We might do another special later on, might not, but if it is something that you're interested in, at the very least, apply for the program and set up a call, because I am totally happy to help you figure out your next action steps forward, even if it's not in the program. So just let me know if you have any questions on that. And how do I start? So last thing, like I said, if you are interested in getting business coaching and mentorship to help you learn how to start your own practice so that you can ditch the 9-to-5 and just learn how to work for yourself full time, to apply to this program, you need to go to my website, morganmeese.com, and apply for the DPT to CEO program. I put the link in the chat, so I'll make sure that is there in the comments later as well. Fill out the application. The application will have you go to a calendar to book a call with me. We'll do an interview and information session to discuss if the program is a good fit for you, and how to move forward from there. We already talked about the pricing in this video. And either way, we'll come up with some action steps for you moving forward. And I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. So I really hope that this was helpful. Like I said, keep shooting me messages, sending questions. I'm planning to make a ton of content coming up, so make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I really appreciate you being here. Best of luck with everything that you're working on. And I will look forward to talking to you soon.